The third day of Christmas, Rob Top gave to me. I guess I know about Kunakan. YKS1479 YMDP by Victor, and the end is here by Doggy. Yes, that's right. Today we are doing limbo, I guess. I don't know. As the third day of Christmas, or as if I have to refer to the level title from now on, I'll be calling it Labooey because that is far easier to say. Why did I choose? I pretty much did choose this because, you know, Aeon chose YKDS, and I thought that would be kind of funny. That's not to say I didn't have interest in this level. I thought it would be kind of funny if I also did a dumb name. I did have interest in this level. Besides that, I didn't just only choose that for that sole reason, but it's a pretty good reason to do this. Yeah, this level is really cool. I've always liked the look of this level. I've always thought it's really sick, but of course it's extremely terrifying to play, or to get into playing, because learning it is brutal. There's a reason that, as I say, I titled this the learniest level, because it's the learniest level, not in terms of, it's not the hardest memory level, it's the hardest level to learn. Like, when I was learning the wave, for instance, if you've seen this level, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never seen this level before, you know, be excited for what's in store, because this is a very unique level. I mean, as you can already tell, but this is one of the more tame parts. But yeah, when I was learning the wave, I think I was able to do 5 clicks in a day, like 5 new clicks in a day before I had to stop playing. Like, that's how learning this level is, that I could only do 5 clicks at a time, only add in 5 clicks at a time before I had to give up, and my brain was overloaded. That green orb that I just died to there, I do think it could be a bit lower, but it's not, so I'll just have to do the timing. This part is very easy. Okay, yeah, like, this is a pretty hard transition. It takes a bit to get used to. Already got here. This is where the level really starts picking up. I will die to the start of this part because, as I'm getting used to, the transition is hard. It's a hard transition to get used to. That's where the level starts picking up. The first 30 is not too bad. I can see it getting extremely consistent over time. As you saw, like, I did pretty much I did the big part, the kind of wider section of this beginning almost instantly. I died to, like, the first click, but besides that. And then the part after it, with all the invisible portals, that's easily the easiest part of the level. It's so consistent. You do not really expect to die there. Except to this transition, because you're just very low in that ship portal. Dying to that is fair. But yeah, I'll die to that maze, and then there's the jewel, and then there's the wave. This level just pretty much, when you get to the big maze, it just keeps picking up in terms of just difficulty, but also just kind of insanity in what the level does. This is a very unique level, but it is really fun, and of course, because of what it's like, it is so satisfying and feels so cool to pull off once you've learned how to do it. So I'm very glad to be doing this, because, like, I really do like this level. I've really enjoyed the learning process. Despite me being horrific at learning, I've had a really fun time learning it, and I'm having a fun time playing it. I messed up the transition again. Yeah, I'm bad at this ball click. That is just a hard gap, and because of this screen border, you don't get much time to react to where the ball is. I do wish you had slightly more time, but, you know, in a level like this, it's not unreasonable that you don't have much time. I just lost track. I was like, oh, I passed the click, focus, and then I just completely lost track of where I was. That's something you have to get good at not doing, is just kind of panicking and losing track of where you are, because if you do that, the second you lose track of where you are, bang, you're done. Ah, too early. That's just me being bad. Dude, come on. Again, like, that is just a hard click. A lot further than I expected to get into the jewel the first time. Nice! Yeah, as I say, this is where the level kind of really picks up in difficulty. This seems like, you know, huge, massive progress. Like, the jewel and the wave are over half the difficulty. I mean, they're also over half the level, but they're so much of the difficulty that getting here doesn't really mean that much. What you really need to do is be able to get here, you know, pretty much nearly every attempt, so that you can keep getting here and throw yourself at enough times in order to pass it. Now, the way that duel works is quite interesting. It kind of just at first looks random, but what it is your primary duel and your secondary duel, they don't move location relative to the gameplay. They're still doing the same sets of gameplay. It's the gameplay and the location of the duel changes simultaneously. So, for example, at the start, I think the primary duel is in the bottom left, and then at the first switch, the gameplay and the primary duel go to the top right and keep doing that sort of gameplay. And then it switches back, and those two both switch back. So it's a really kind of cool duel. And another thing I really like about the duel is, probably where each person focuses in that duel is going to be completely different. You can choose, like I do. I only really change location of where I look at once. I'm looking at the bottom left for nearly the whole time in that duel. But, people might find it easier. Other people might find it easier to look at the top right the whole time. Other people might find it easier to switch. It's up to the person. And that's just really cool. I like it when levels let you, find your own way of doing things. Even if, in this case, you're still doing the same gameplay, how you go about doing that gameplay is going to be different. But I'm just really happy to get to the duel. Oh, nearly. I always do this release, I'm so bad at, because it's so fast, and I'm not looking at this wave, I'm looking down here, because of the robot jump after. I'm so bad at the release, because you've got to do it so soon, after you release the jump. Oh, I nearly got to the wave, dude. Holy. When I say this level's really learny, I mean that this took about 28k attempts for me to learn, which is my 7th highest attempt count, 8th if you count Akron, which kind of am, but kind of not, because I haven't actually beaten that. But, 7th highest attempt count, only within 4k of attempts of just the hallucination full stop. Like, this level is so learny. It's not a bad thing, but, it is so daunting to start, because it's just so learny and just so daunting. As I said, nearly 7th highest attempt count if I had been, out of my beaten levels. That's insane. Before I did a single attempt from 0. But it's kind of what, the payoff as a result of that is so worth it. The payoff you get when you're then able to do all those paths, doing the duel, doing the wave, it feels so good. Because I have worked for this. I have worked for this, and now I'm getting the results. I don't know if not for, Aeon also just doing the ridiculous level name. I don't know when I would have done this, because it would have been just pushed back and back and back, because it's just, because of that factor, because it's so terrifying to start. I always do that too early. Every single time I do that click too early. I need to stop. I say that like I didn't pass it the first time. I click it early so often. Stop. I didn't hold long enough. Fair enough. What the? For a first wave attempt, that is insane. This part, I'm really bad at this part. I'm nowhere near surprised I died here. I'm kind of surprised I didn't die to the release before, but this click I'm also really bad at. I genuinely, oh my god, dude. I cannot believe I got that far in. What the hell? Taken me a while to get to this, but I do not like this spike, because you can't really see it, and it makes this click, really, really micro. And as you can see, other spikes kind of had modified small hitboxes. I really think this spike should have also, because it's just really annoying, because this click is so micro, and you have to do this first click as well, just really early, in order to be even able to live this. I do wish this spike wasn't, well, at least had an adjusted hitbox. Oh, nearly. That's really bad, actually. I just didn't hold long enough. That should have been another wave attempt. Oh, I'm so bad at this click. One of the reasons I was always wanting to go for this level, as I said, the main reason I'm doing this now is because of Aeon's choice, but I was always going to do this level regardless, or I always intended to regardless. Whether or not I would have ever gathered enough confidence to do so is another matter, but is because this level's just so unique, and I really like levels that are unique, you cannot, what this level does is, at least currently, not replicated by any other level. Like, you're not going to find another level that does pretty much any of the things that this level does. And so, of course, I'm going to want to see what it's like. Because I've always, you know, had a pretty diverse amount of levels that beaten. I've beaten the shortest extreme, and I've beaten a bunch of XXXL extremes. You know, I've beaten a whole ton of 9 Circles levels, and I've beaten things like Minus Dry and Sarix, which don't have wave at all. You know, I've just beaten such diverse levels that, of course, I'm going to be interested in something like this, where nothing comes close to what this level does. What? 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 Huh? Sure. What? One wave death? One wave death? What? I don't believe that. What? Right, so that took 21,170 plus 5,791 plus 2,058, coming to a total of 29,019. That, as I say, is a really high attempt count for me, but makes sense with how lonely that is. Also, if you're wondering why I had plus 21k, I had another start position and deleted it because I made changes in that one that made visual changes to make it more accurate to the level. But yeah, first of all, I really enjoyed that. That is so much fun. Obviously, this level is not for everyone. If you do not think you would like this level, do not do this level. But if you think you would enjoy this level, I'd strongly recommend at least giving it a go and giving it like a proper go, not just try it once. Because as I say, at the start, it's gonna be impossible to do anything. 5 wave clicks on day 1 I was able to do, but as I was able to do more, I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I did this. This level is really cool. I really have so few complaints to that. As I said, my biggest complaint is genuinely that one blue orb clicking the robot. Also, there are a few wave releases. I'll put them on screen because I do not know percentages at all because of start position percentage things. But there's a few one wave release is kind of blind, and then there's the wave release before, like 2 clicks before my worst death. That's also not a release I particularly like, because both of those, basically, is so hard to see where you are on the wave. Besides that, this level is so good. This is such a good level. I also just want to say, I got so lucky on this. Like, that's why my reaction is what it is. The amount of duel I had 17 attempts to the duel. That is, looking at other victors, that is usually the amount of wave deaths people have. Maybe 1 or 2, but most people have that many wave deaths. I had that many duel attempts. Like, that is insane. This is one of, if not just straight up, my luckiest experiences. Only having 1 death to the wave is genuinely ridiculous. Yeah, with that done, Zeronium's up next with day 4, so make sure to go check out Zeronium. But now I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and make sure to check out Zeronium for the next day. Bye!